with you here. I thought maybe we should start this episode by talking about the total budget. It's the budget season, so around here.
Yeah, I definitely think that's a great place to start, Gary. You know, I think that it's something that the community definitely is gonna want to know more about as we head in. We got the public hearing in January 9th coming up. So yeah, definitely it's something we want to talk about.
Yeah, do you want to maybe present the total budget?
Sure. You know, I always, when people ask me to present the budget, I always like to start with the end in mind. And one of the things that I think, because it's the bottom line. And so our proposed budget for the 23-24 school year represents a 3.9% increase. With a total increase from the previous year about $980,000. We're actually we're really excited to get there, given some of the challenging economic circumstances that we're facing in the country right now.
Yeah, so maybe we should start or dive into how the budget's actually how it's created. Where do you start?
Well, we actually start with budget goals, and typically that starts with the board. You want to talk about the goals, Gary?
Yeah, it's a great idea. So this year we, as a board, met over the summer at a retreat, and we came up with 4 overall budget goals for this year. Obviously, with inflation being as high as it is, one of our biggest concerns was the total overall increase. So this year we asked the SAU to try to keep the increase under 4%. But we also wanted to support any ongoing initiatives. With the change of leadership we've had over the last couple of years, we think it's really important to maintain some of the continuity of programs that have been started. Another goal that was really important to the board is be able to hire and retain really good staff. I think we've all seen the challenges in the hiring market around the world. We've all seen the changes in the hiring market around the U.S., and obviously that's an important issue that we address. Last but not least, we wanted to make sure that we're good stewards of the community's money. The community is generous enough to fund the school and approve our budgets every year so far, and we wanted to be sure that we're good stewards of the money and asked Todd and the team to make sure that nothing was included in the budget that wasn't absolutely necessary. So how does the district, your administrative team, take the goals and form them really into the budget number we see today?
That's a really good question, Gary. I mean, basically what we did, we took the goals and started with a fairly detailed discussion at a leadership level in terms of how those goals impact us in all the different cost centers. By cost centers, I mean the elementary school, the junior senior high, the facilities department, business office, and our IT department. Those are the major drivers of cost in the district. And we took a look at those, and we made sure everybody fully understood them. And then from there, everybody was tasked with going through their budgets and making sure that what they were requesting was supporting those items. And from there, we did sort of a deep dive, step by step, with each department, going through every line in the budget to analyze kind of what was there, taking a look. One of the things we were very cognizant of right from the beginning is that we are in the process, fingers crossed, of coming out of the pandemic, and knowing that there were a lot of sort of anomalous sort of things in our budgets that we needed to take a look at, things that were there because of things that were required by the pandemic. Either it was we got grant funding that we hadn't gotten before and weren't going to be continuing to get, or items that were in the budget that were specifically about addressing issues due to the pandemic. And we wanted to make sure that as we built the budget, we were keeping the idea of return to normalcy kind of in our mind, implementing the goals around a normal implementation of school, and wanting to make sure that what was in the budget in every area supported the programs that we needed to meet our goals, but also to support the students. So from there, we came forward with our draft after some fairly meticulous work with the department heads, and that's when you guys first got a chance to take a look at our draft, Gary.
That sounds like a really long and somewhat arduous process. Sean, could you maybe give us some historical context of how this budget process is compared to last year?
Sure, I'd be happy to. Yeah, I found this budget process this year in particular to be very thorough it was an opportunity for myself and Superintendent Allen to sit down and talk about what are the directions and what are the goals of Newmarket Elementary School in particular. So those were obviously taken into consideration. When developing the budget, we were looking at revamping our literacy program. So we talked about how can we support that, what is the process of doing that, and what are the financial implications of that as well. We're also looking at revamping our MTSS program at school. And again, it was how are we going to revamp it, but also the financial implications. What was really nice is that we had an opportunity to sit down and really just go through those lines and talk about, all right, is this the sources that we want to use, and is this the money that, is it too much, is it too little? It was a very thorough process this year in particular.
It strikes me that trying to estimate a budget a year in advance is kind of like me trying to guess how much food and how much gas I'm going to need for my family next year. How is that even possible? How do you guys do that?
That is probably one of the fundamental challenges to budgeting in a public school setting, is we're really trying to predict what we're going to need a year and a half from when we start. Because when we start talking about the budget over the summer, and this is a budget that's not going to be implemented until a full year and a half later. So it is a challenge. And I think one of the things that we had to really take into account here was that the unique economic circumstances that exist in the country and in the region. And I think, it can't be understated, inflation overall across the country has been running over 7% for the last 6 months to a year. Costs of things like energy and fuel oil, things of that sort are up tremendously, and the school district is not isolated from those costs. So when we arrive at a budget increase of 3.9% in a context of all of those other things, we really consider that a major win. We see that as a what people might commonly call a flat budget, where we're really not looking for anything new. We're really trying to maintain the quality of programs we have and to try to think ahead. But absolutely, Gary, it is a bit of a moving target. So, we do the best we can to make those educated guesses and try to make sure we plan for that.
Maybe in a future episode we could dig more into that, but we've talked about inflation, we've talked about the increase. So inflation has been almost 8%. The budget increase is 3.9%. So in essence, I mean, this is really kind of a decrease if you think about it as opposed to a flat budget from the previous year.
Yeah, I mean, no question about it. I mean, when you think about like what's different in this budget compared to the previous year's budget, I think when you look at our budget, there are really three kind of broad cost areas. There's salaries, there's benefits, and then there's operational costs. And one of the things that we did do in this budget was where we saw opportunities for efficiencies by reducing staff. We have actually done that through attrition and through the fact that there's many positions we haven't been able to fill. We're actually reducing the total professional staff at the elementary school by 1 staff member. And again, it's through attrition. It's nobody's losing a job, but we're able to capitalize on that. So we have been able to do some very significant things, but from a cost standpoint, we had to account for the teacher's contract that was passed last year, which it's a wonderful thing. It's a great contract, but the actual costs of that were not in that budget, and so we had to factor that in. So even though we make reductions in some areas, the total cost of salaries is going to go up because we're adjusting for the fact that the new contract has taken effect. Insurance benefits, same thing. One of the things that we had to do was we reduced, like we say, by reducing staff, you reduce commensurately the benefit costs for those positions, but overall, health insurance is up over 11%. So there's an increase of about 120,000 right there without really changing anything. And then operationally, that's a real challenge. We have made some changes over the last couple of years in how we implement our food service program and our custodial services, and so there's some numbers that have been shifting around, but operationally our costs go up just like everybody's costs are going up. So for us to get to that 3.9, and to provide, you know, a budget that we feel is a very responsible one, we did have to do some trade-offs to get there. And so I would agree, Gary, that I think the 3.9, for the most part, if it were just keeping pace with inflation, it would have been more like 7 or 8%.
Mm-hmm.
So 3.9 is less than that, obviously.
Yeah.
I was just going to throw in, we were talking about the idea that we've really kind of looked to trim and where we can trim, but at the same time, it's not sacrificing any of the services that we're doing. We're looking for additional funding. For instance, we're looking at revamping the playground at the elementary school, and that's well underway. That is not part of the budget, but it's through some ESSER grant funds that the district would ride for. So again, we've made those trims, but not with a significant impact whatsoever on our services that we provide all of our children here in the district. So
That's really amazing, and I think we're going to dig a lot more into the budget process in future episodes. But for now, where can voters find more information?
Well, actually, on our website, if you go to the Newmarket School District website, there's a link for the 23-24 budget. It actually has the narrative report along with all of the data on how we arrived at the budget we have. You can see that on our website. It also has an appendix to it that also goes into the default budget, and we'll talk about that in a future episode, yeah, I'm sure, as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Should we maybe give out some of the key budget calendar dates?
Well, yeah, I think what a lot of people don't realize is the budget process really begins in the summertime with the leadership team kind of taking a look at what their needs are. So as early as June and July, we're talking about what we're going to need a year and a half later. August comes around and we really get into really developing the goals, which the board obviously weighs in on and determines what those are. October, we then do a full day budget workshop after the leadership team has had the month of September to really refine the budget. And then in November, we really start heading into finalizing things for a presentation to the budget committee. This year, that was on November 28th. And then December, the board reviews everything, all the feedback we have, and finalizes the draft warrant. And then in January, we bring it to the public in the form of the public hearing. It's really the first official review of that budget. Once that has occurred, the board finalizes things from there, and then in February we have the deliberative session. And this year the deliberative session is on February 4th, and then the actual paper vote, the election day, is March 14th. So it's a long process, but there are plenty of points for people to learn about the budget, and that's what we hope to do.
Great.
Thank you so much. Sean, is there anything coming up at the elementary school in the future months?
Oh yeah, in the month of January, first of all, happy holidays to everyone, but the month of January, we have our annual jump rope shows coming up. There's going to be some concerts with our music department as well. And also, I look forward to introducing the new staff here at the elementary school to the Newmarket, the town of Newmarket. So
Wonderful.
Stay tuned.
Great, that sounds fantastic. I'm looking forward to it. Happy holidays, everyone.
As always, if you enjoy these episodes, have any advice for us, or would like to reach out and tell us something, please do so at the SAU website.
Absolutely. All of our emails are right there for people to reach out, or you can call or even make an appointment if you want to come in and talk about anything.
High school counselor at Newmarket High School. We are doing an I Am College Bound event. It's a national initiative. Kids can apply to any and all New Hampshire colleges for free today, the day of. The admissions rep help all students go through the application process. They work through just what it is to fill out the application, applying to college, what that looks like after they apply. They help with the essay. Any kind of questions they have. We have someone from SNU, SNHU, we have someone from Great Bay, and we have someone from Plymouth State. This is our third year doing it, and our first year in person. The last 2 years have been virtual due to COVID. This year is awesome. We have every single appointment booked this year. So we are completely full. It's a little bit of a smaller senior class, so next year I anticipate adding a rep because the senior class is a little bit bigger. So I reach out to families and students. I also send out an email and a letter to parents as well as the presentation in case anybody missed it. And but they can email me or call me at 292-7968 to schedule an appointment for next year. But a notice will be going out to parents about that. But it's usually around the beginning of November that it happens.
Sadie Mansfield. I'm a senior at Newmarket High School. Today we are filling out College Bound, and what this is we are able to apply to any in-state New Hampshire schools with a free waiver, and we have a rep from a school to come help us, make the process more easier and more bearable for us today. The process definitely has been hard at some times, but also just having the help and support here today has made the process so much more bearable, and I've had so much help with everything, and it's getting done. I found out about this through my school guidance counselor, Christine Bisson. She's awesome, and she gives us all these opportunities with schools and with scholarships as well.
Hey everyone, I'm Matt Wallace, Director of Admission from Plymouth State University. I am College Bound. It's one of our favorite events of the year in partnership with NEAF to help students from New Hampshire apply for school. NEAF does sign-ups for the different school districts and high schools that are involved, and NEAF was on the list for needing a rep, so PSU jumped to the opportunity to come help the great school of Newmarket. So one of the great things with this day is all the colleges in New Hampshire waive their application fees through this program. So we all submit fee waivers so students can submit their applications for free. The other big thing is that we're here to help students. So students who may have questions about the Common App or what the next step is the application process, want a review on the essay before they submit it, we're here at their disposal to really support them and give them the support they need to submit their applications.
Athletic Director Jamie Hayes is going to give us a great recap on our fall sports season.
Thank you. Well, number one, I think it was just great to have fall sports open back up fully, our full arsenal of all of our varsity teams as well as our middle school teams, and not being in mass and not having fan restrictions or anything like that was great this year. It was great to see our sidelines packed and watching our athletes participate this year. I think we had some very productive teams. Our girls soccer team won the championship for the second year in a row. They only lost one game this year, so they've lost one game in 2 years. It's very impressive after graduating 10, 11 girls from last year's team. It was very impressive. Our girls cross country team, for the fourth time in a row, they won the Granite State Conference Championship. So it's very impressive that they've had that opportunity. On the individual note, we had Alana Hagan go to the New Englands for the first time in 32 years, I believe. So very impressive there. And then Alana and Jaren LaBranche both qualified for the meet of champions. They were the top finishers in our Division III state meet. Our boys soccer team did very well after graduating. A lot of players in the last couple of years qualified for the tournament. Had lost a very close game to Woodsville that ended up going to the championship game. Football program went up to Division III this year from Division IV. Did well, won 3 games and was very competitive in a couple others. We had quite a few all-state candidates and all-conference candidates. So, very productive fall. Our winter seasons have already kicked off with tryouts, and our teams are going. So, everything is open up for winter season as well. So, very enthusiastic about our opportunities for the year.
Newmarket community, I'm Jody Callanan. I'm the Director of Counseling here for the Newmarket School District. It's a new role for me this year. Some parents might know me from last year. I took on a role for middle school counselor and athletic director. So this is a new role for me here in Newmarket, but it's my 9th year as a school counseling director. So thank you for being so welcoming. Newmarket has been wonderful. We have a lot of great initiatives in the school counseling department this year. So some of you, as you drive by our building, may notice that we have monthly themes in our school. So a lot of our circle times at the elementary school and advisory times here at the middle and high school We have a theme that the counselors can go into advisories. We do projects based on themes or have classroom activities and classroom lessons based on the themes. So I know the local library has also incorporated those monthly themes into everything that they do as well. And coming up December 1st, which is coming up this week, generosity is the theme for our Newmarket students. So that's been helpful to create a little bit more of a cohesive unit there. We have this year, thank goodness, lots of college admissions reps came back in to meet with our seniors to talk about their schools and the opportunities that are available. So we have about 35 college admissions reps here in the building to meet with students. We've also had 3 or 4 different members of the military in every month to talk about what it takes to get into the Marine Corps, what opportunities are available in the Air Force, what can happen with the Army. So we've had many more people coming into the building this year, which has also been wonderful. We had a great motivational speaker, Ed Garrity, came in a couple of weeks ago, spoke with our junior high students, then spoke with our high school students about respect and responsibility and what it means to be a good Newmarket community member. So the kids left with a lot of enthusiasm. Each student got a bracelet, was very interactive and a lot of really great feedback. So we plan to have a couple more motivational speakers come in throughout the school year, as well as at the elementary school level too. We also do have a lot of testing back in action. So we have NEWA testing going on, PSAT tests going on, SAT tests going on. Career exploration, another big piece of the puzzle of what we're doing here. We have 8th, 9th, and 10th graders all going to be doing some career exploration activities with counselors. Juniors are going to be doing resume writing, another lost skill, but we're going to get that back into the students' hands. We have some social groups going on at the middle school level. We have Wellness Wednesdays where the counselors go into the middle school and talk to students about different topics of the month. And we do activities around those topics as well. Upcoming stuff that we have coming up to 10th graders. We have SST presentations and tours coming up so kids can start understanding the opportunities that are available at SST. College tours, we're going to be going out, so juniors will have the opportunity to go to colleges like UNH, Great Bay Community, even some trade schools are going to be available too. So we have a lot of those different opportunities. If you're looking to have a better idea of what these opportunities are, if you go to our school district website under the counseling tab, you'll be able to see the different activities that we have planned for every single month. We are stockpiled of activities, so definitely take a look at that. We also have a link on the website about clubs and activities that your students can get involved in, because we have something for everybody here. And even for families, if you know a family that's struggling or needs resources from the community, we do have a social worker here at the middle high school as well as the elementary school. And those social workers are able to and happy to help any family who may be struggling and needs food or food vouchers, warm clothing. Free and reduced lunch applications are also available, and our school social workers can help you. At the middle high school, it's Caitlin. At the elementary school, her name is Laura. And you're always welcome to call me. Again, I'm Jody Callanan. I'm the Director of Counseling. So if there's anything that you need or any resources that you are looking to have provided, then please feel free to reach out at any point to me. And thank you for being a part of the great Newmarket community.
As always, if you enjoy these episodes, have any advice for us, or would like to reach out and tell us something, please do so at the SAU website.
Absolutely. All of our emails are right there for people to reach out, or you can call or even make an appointment if you want to come in and talk about anything.